Hi, my name is Dan Przybylski. I'm one half of the husband and wife team known as Gen X Realtors in Charleston. I'm also a VA relocation specialist. Now, using your VA loan in Charleston sounds straightforward. No down payment, strong benefits, great opportunity. And then you start house hunting and you realize it doesn't work the way you thought it would. Homes you like don't qualify, sellers hesitate, deals fall apart over things you didn't even know mattered. And it's not because the VA loan is the problem, it's because this market, especially across the Charleston and Somerville areas, has its own set of rules, inventory, and deal breakers that catch VA buyers off guard. So before we get too far into this, let's walk through what's actually happening and how to make sure you don't get stuck or lose out on the right home. Most VA buyers come in thinking, I've got a strong loan. This should be simple. And on paper it is, but here's what happens. You're competing against conventional buyers, cash buyers, and buyers that are waiving contingencies. So when a seller sees multiple offers, they're not always choosing the strongest buyer. They're choosing the cleanest deal. And sometimes they assume a VA loan is going to be more complicated. And that's where the friction starts. So one of the biggest surprises for a VA buyer is that not every home that you see online is going to work with a VA loan. And it's not always obvious why. For example, VA loans have minimum property standards. That means that the home has to be safe, structurally sound, and move-in ready. And here's what a lot of buyers don't know about. You'll need a CL 100. That's a termite inspection and clearance. And in this area, trust me, it matters. So if a home has moisture issues, termite damage, deferred maintenance, it can become a problem quickly. And across Charleston and Somerville, there are a lot of older homes, properties that haven't been updated. So what looks like a great deal may not pass. Well, then the VA buyer says, well, let's not do a house. Let's look at a condo. And the reason that a VA buyer would look for a condo is that there's lower maintenance, lower price points. But here's the catch. Not all condo communities are VA approved. So even if the unit's perfect, the entire community has to meet VA standards, and many don't. What that has to do with is minimum occupancy, how much money they have in reserves, if they've got any pending lawsuits. So it sounds like it's working against you, but really, with the VA loan, they're trying to protect your best interests. And if that condo looks like it's on shaky ground, they're not going to approve that loan. So then a VA buyer might pivot from a condo to new construction. That's got to be the easiest path, right? And sometimes it is, but you'll still need someone that's versed in VA buyers like ourselves, a builder who understands VA, contracts that align with your timelines, and you want a clear breakdown of incentives and closing costs. Otherwise, what looks easy can get complicated fast. Okay, so you found the home that you want, and now it's time for the appraisal. And this is where the deal can fall apart. Because a VA appraisal is not just about value, it's also about condition. The appraiser is looking at safety issues, required repairs, and the market value. And if something comes up, the seller is usually expected to address it. And that's a key difference with other types of loans. Buyers can sometimes take on repairs, but with the VA, sellers are typically the ones handling them. And in a competitive market, some sellers don't want to deal with that at all. Now, regarding VA buyers and sellers, why do some sellers hesitate? Well, let's clear that up. It's not that sellers don't want VA buyers, it's that they don't always understand the process. And when they're looking at multiple offers, they think, well, this one might come with extra steps, even if that's not actually true. So what happens? VA buyers lose deals they could have won just based on perception. Now, if you've already started looking, have you run into this? Homes that you liked but you couldn't move forward on? Drop it in the comments because it happens a lot here. And believe it or not, location matters more than you think. This market especially is heavily influenced by military relocation. With Joint Base Charleston here, The entire Tri-County area, that would be Dorchester County, Berkeley County, and Charleston County, are full of VA buyers and sellers. So you're not alone, but you're competing in that space. Now you've got the closer in areas, which would be considered Charleston County. You'll find better location relative to the base, established neighborhoods, but also on the flip side, you've got older homes, more condition issues, and more appraisal hurdles. Well, then further out, you get into like the Somerville area, which is in Berkeley County, and then also Dorchester County. You'll see newer construction, more VA-friendly homes, fewer condition problems, but the trade-off is real. You know, that 25 to 30-minute drive people talk about, it's usually closer to 35 to 50, depending on traffic and the time of day. So now you're choosing between an easier loan process or a better location. So now I'm going to give you the strategy that works perfect for VA buyers like yourselves. Number one, target the right home from the start. Don't waste time on homes that won't pass inspection, that aren't in approved communities. Focus on homes that are move-in ready, structurally sound, and known to work with VA buyers like yourself. Step two, make your offer feel strong. You can't change your loan, but you can control how your offer shows up. This is where having the right strategy matters. Strong pre-approval, clean terms, clear communication. That's how you compete. And if your seller happens to be a veteran, well, let me tell you, that process gets a whole lot easier because it's a band of brothers, and a lot of the times a VA seller will specifically choose a VA buyer because they've been in your shoes. Which leads me into step three, which is work with people who know VA, like my wife and I. This is one of the biggest advantages you can give yourself. When everyone involved understands the process, the requirements, the timing, trust me, deals move smoother and the sellers feel more confident choosing you. So what does a good VA purchase look like? Well, a good outcome feels like you're looking at the right homes from the start. The process moves forward without surprises. You don't lose deals over avoidable issues, and you feel confident the whole way through. On the flip side, the bad ones feel like you keep hitting roadblocks. Deals fall apart late in the game. You're constantly having to adjust, and it feels harder than it should be. And that's not what we want for you as a VA buyer. We're here to help and support you. So listen, using your VA loan here can absolutely work in the Charleston area. You just have to approach it the right way because this market isn't impossible. It just plays by a slightly different set of rules. And if you want help navigating that based on your situation, please reach out. You can book a VIP call with us. You can email us, text us, whatever's most convenient for you. And if you want more clarity like this before you make a move, subscribe. We've got lots of content that's specifically targeted to people like us, people that are relocating from other areas. Or if you're moving from one part of South Carolina to another, we can help you with that too. Because the goal is to help you get this right before you're in the middle of it, not after things go sideways. Thank you for your service, and we will see you very soon. Bye-bye.